What are you doing? What are you doing? If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. I can't hear myself, but if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Hey, Facebook, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up.
It doesn't count if I give you a thumbs up, huh?
Nope.
We had one come through.
That was you.
Oh, Toby says that song is perfect and attention getter. Hey Zach, hey Jill.
Oh, there you guys are. I wonder why I can't hear me. I got my own little device going here and I can't hear it. I wonder why that is. Well, that's good that you guys can hear me because I was a little worried. Hey, I got some exciting stuff for you today. I'm going to be walking you guys through some things that I think is important and it has huge value. I know we got some new people coming on today because we shared it where? At the event. Yes, what an amazing event. If you were at the event, give me some thumbs up, give me some love, because that event had tremendous value for people that showed up. And listen, not only did it have tremendous value, we changed some lives in Denver. And I know that. I know we put ripples in that market, and for the people who showed up, when they go home, they're going to create ripples. And that was something that just changed everything, because here's why. I gave homework assignment like at every other event. I had people showing up the next day. They had found 3 deals, 2 deals, 4 deals. Lots of people had found 1 deal. You know, it's the same thing that I always say about 30%, 33% of the people in this business do something. And we proved that at the event too. But the ones that do get out of their comfort zone. They go out and they make contacts. They get on the phone. They start calling sellers. And that is the big difference with whether or not you make it in this business or you don't. It has nothing to do with how many seminars you go to. It has nothing to do with how many books you read. It has nothing to do with how many courses you buy. It has everything to do with your ability to get the right support, the willingness to stay focused, and the ability to not quit, right? That's what it has to do with.
Do you remember Christy from this weekend?
Yes.
She's on here live.
Well, hello, Christy. I'm glad you joined us. Welcome, 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 welcome to the show. This is Zack Childress with REI Real Estate Investing Talk Show, bringing it to you live right here today on Facebook. And I've got the real deal for you today. We're going to dig into some things. The main topic we're going to be talking about is your power team. What is your power team? Who is your power team? And what is a power team all about? That's what I'm going to talk to you about today. But remember, on every Facebook Live, this is why you come. You ask me questions. You figure out what you need help with, and I'm here to help you. And for those of you that are joining us for the first time, you've never been here before, we have the lovely Jill in the background.
Hey, hey.
So say hi to Jill. And she's with us. Look at Jill. I see you on the camera now, Jill.
Oh, my hair doesn't look so bad.
So listen, let's talk about the event. Man, what an amazing event. Jill wasn't there, so she doesn't know how amazing it was because she decided to go to Florida and get a tan. Let's look at her tan again.
It was a good one.
But this event was packed full of people. It was another sold out event. We had to bring a few extra chairs in. Why? Why did we have to bring extra chairs in? Well, because some of you told us you weren't coming and then you changed your mind, decided you were coming, which I appreciate you changing your schedule to change your life. But I enjoyed everybody there. Everybody was engaged. This event is the reason that we do these. You need to be at the next event. Where are we going? Everybody's been asking me, Zach, when's the next event? I haven't even told my own staff this. I've been keeping it secret. I'm unfolding it to you right now. So we're going to be updating our page. freedomfromflipping.com. It's not updated right yet, but it will be. And if you want to get those golden tickets, because they sell out every time, I'm giving you a head start right now. We're going to be doing it in Dallas, Texas, November, I'm thinking 10th through the 12th, okay? So that is now, it has been now said, everybody knows, I've been holding it tight, and now you all know. We're gonna fly into Dallas, Texas, and we're gonna rock out in Dallas, Texas with a whole new group of students. When's it gonna be? In about 3 months from now. So you got time to prepare, you got time to get ready, you got time to get everything together, and then you could be sitting in a room just like what you've been seeing on this screen right here as my magical video guy is able to flip back and forth and show you what happened in Denver. You could be hanging out with me, small group, we sell out every time. You need to be there. You need to learn what you don't know, and you need to apply what you learn so that you too can make some differences, man. Listen, you can't help anybody until you start helping yourself. And Toby, you better be in Dallas. Okay? You hear me, Toby? I'm telling you right now.
She said she's going to rearrange her ticket with Southwest.
She's going to get her ticket arranged with Southwest?
Mm-hmm. She
Good.
had one bought for Denver. So she's going to get it rearranged.
Oh, I got you. So she's going to, so she got a credit with Southwest, and now she's going to use it. Got you. Good job, Toby. You need to be in Dallas, Toby. I'm telling you. Listen, and here's the thing. I know what I know, and I know sometimes I overlook the amount of information that's inside my head. And I know, right? I mean, my brain thinks nonstop. But when I'm at an event and I got people coming up to me saying, Zach, I've been going to seminars for 10 years and I've learned more in one day than I've been at all them seminars. Man, that just makes me feel good. That makes me feel like a few things. Number one, it makes me realize that I'm giving you what you need. And number two, it makes me realize that you're getting the information you need to grow your business. And that's what it boils down to. So I think that's important. So here we go. What is your power team? Oh, we got the real estate talk show today too. So let me cue that up. So let's do a little countdown so I can hit a real estate talk show here.
Yeah, we're at 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, welcome back to another real estate investing talk show for what works in today's real estate market. This is Zack Childress, your real estate coach. And I'm excited to have you listening today, whether it be through Blog Talk Radio or it be through one of our podcaster syndicate sites. Now, listen, if you're joining me for the first time and you're wanting to know who is Zack Childress, you need to join us on Facebook. You need to get to our live channels. That's at Creative Real Estate Training Academy on Facebook. Look us up, Creative Real Estate Training Academy. Like the page, share the page. Share what we talk about, be part, ask questions. It's live. So what are we talking about today? We are talking about your power team. Who is your power team? What needs to be on your power team, and how do you find these people? And so I'm going to dig into that with you today. I've got roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, around 13 different people I'm going to talk about that you should have on your power team. And also, don't forget, if you're listening to us on the radio, you need to be at our live events. We just did one in Denver, Colorado, and let me tell you, it was absolutely amazing. The people there were amazing. The energy was amazing. The staff was amazing. Everybody came there knowing that they needed to be at the next level, and all of them came to learn, earn, and grow. And I'm just blessed that I'm part of that process with these people, and just to get the feedback from them and everything that they did and the homework that they did. And I saw them out in the halls working, making calls, looking at deals. Like, it just makes my heart happy to know that, you know, I always used to say if I could go do an event and I only changed one person's life, I'd be happy. But it makes me ecstatic when I go through an event and I see that I'm not changing one person, but I'm changing a ton of people at that event because they're doing something. And I'm also happy to talk about, we had a 10-year-old kid there.
Really?
Yes, a 10-year-old kid that was sitting right next to his parents taking notes reading my book,
Wow.
asking questions. He was at the dinner, and I asked him, I said, I think his name was Caleb. I said, Caleb, what's your big aha moment? And this 10-year-old kid said, you know, I hear my parents talking about this all the time, and I'm not quite sure, you know, what it is that, you know, they're talking about. And he said, you know, since I came here, I'm starting to see, you know, how all this works. And he goes, and the biggest thing is I'm realizing you need systems. I said, a 10-year-old kid is getting it, man. I was so excited about that. I was like, I actually gave him a book, signed it, and I gave him my phone number.
Did you?
I did. I told him, I said, look, man, you keep studying. I said, when you get to about 16 and you're ready to rock this thing out, I said, you call me. So I felt like that was a special moment for me.
That was nice. I'm sad I missed that.
So, but I was excited for his parents to bring him too. So listen up. Here we go. Let's dig into your power team a little bit today. Now remember, I'm going to do it again for you. You see my books here. I got my books up. If you want to get a free copy of my book, you got to pay the shipping. We'll ship it out to you, but I'll sign it for you. Paris she'll tell me who all I need to sign for. So, but when we talk about a power team, people always ask me, Zack, what is a power team for? Well, the power team is the people that we need in our business to help us grow. It's the people that are on our team that have specialties or skill sets that we need. It is the people that are on our team that we need to leverage to help us grow our business. That's what a power team is, okay? And so, you know, one of the first ones I start off with is a CPA. Why do I start off with a CPA or an accountant? Because you need to know that in real estate, we operate a business that is much different than, say, a brick and mortar. A brick and mortar is, you know, you can go get an LLC for $200 and be fine with that. But we have different tax advantages. We have just depreciation. We have write-offs. We have things that allow us to take advantage of the real estate that we're involved in when it comes to our tax advantages. Also, there's this little thing you need to learn about called the dealer taxation law. And without a real estate accountant or a real estate CPA, most accountants don't know about this law, and it's something that you need to be aware of. So CPA is one, okay? Where do you find a good real estate CPA? Go to your local RIA. Talk to your real estate attorneys. Talk to your agents and see who they're using. The second one is your title companies. You need a good title company, or if you're in a state like I live in, it's an attorney. It's a real estate attorney. So those are really two different power team members, a title company or a real estate attorney. So if you're using title companies, you're going to need a real estate attorney, because the real estate attorney is going to help you out with contract law and things that you might need. If you're in a attorney state, then they're the both. You have your real estate attorney and your title company all in one house. But you need these companies on board, and you need them on board ahead of time, because if you're going to be doing creative real estate, then you need the right attorney and the right title company on your team to help you get these things closed. Because if you're wholesaling, they need to understand what an assignment contract is. I'll give you an example. Just the other week, I was doing a wholesale deal where I was buying from a wholesaler, and I showed up at closing, and the seller was there, and they had no idea who I was. He's like, "Who are you?" I said, "Well, I'm the guy that bought the contract, so I'm closing today." And, you know, and thank goodness that my attorney knows what an assignment of contract is, knows what wholesaling is, and he's able to guide and educate the seller so that the seller doesn't freak out. And, you know, and this is why it's important that you have people on your team that understand how to do this. You know, for instance, they can do seller financing structures. They can do mortgages for private investors. You need to have someone who knows what real estate investors are doing. So there again, if you have a title company, they're not going to do this for you, but they're going to help you with the closings. If you have a real estate attorney, closing state, they're going to help you with all that. But if you are a title state, you definitely need a real estate attorney on your power team, okay? Now, bankers. Let's talk about bankers. Bankers. Why do we need bankers? Well, bankers are important, and a banker could be defined as a mortgage broker. It could be a local bank. And these are something that you could also keep it specific to bankers. So if I'm coaching you down the path, I'm going to tell you, go out and get relationships started with local-based banks. Get relationships with local-based banks. These are the banks that look for what's called relationship lending. They're typically not selling your loan. They're keeping it in-house, so therefore they'll give you better terms. They'll give you more lenience when it comes to your credit score and things of that nature. So find local banks, not the big boxes, not the Regions, the Wells Fargos, the Banks of America, not those guys, okay? Now, we talked about real estate lawyer. That's who we talked about. If you don't have one, you got to have one. And the appraiser. Let's talk about your appraiser. You need a good appraiser on your team. And here's why. Let me help you understand this. Because, listen, if you're going to go get a loan, the bank's going to go into a software program. They're going to tell them they need an appraiser. It's going to be a random draw. An appraiser's going to come out and appraise your property. And they're going to tell the bank what they think it's worth. But on your side, you need a good appraiser. And here's why. Because one of the things that I will do is I will contest an appraisal if it comes in low, especially if I'm selling the property. So therefore, I need to have an appraiser on my team that I can call up, get it appraised, and I can send it in to whomever and say, look, I contest that appraisal. Here's a second opinion. There needs to be a third appraisal ordered on this property, so that I don't want to lose because some appraiser doesn't know how to evaluate a property correctly. The other side of that is that, you need to really think about, how do I say this? Like an inspector too. Let's add that in there. You need to have an inspector, a home inspector in there, because the other thing with appraisers and home inspectors, they kind of work hand in hand. But for me personally, when I buy a property, I have it inspected so that I know what I need to get fixed. The other side of the equation is if you really want to sell your houses fast, you should do two things. When you're finished with the property, have it inspected again. So set a budget for $350 for that, and have it appraised again. So set a budget for $300 or $350 for that. So let's just say $700. So when you're done with your fix and flip, your remodel property, have it inspected again and have it appraised again. And you lay those on the counter of the property. So when homeowners are coming by to buy your property, they can say, oh, look, he's had it inspected. And look, all this stuff has been taken care of. And on top of that, they can have an appraisal sitting there for them to look at too. So they know if you're asking 180 and it's been appraised for 200, then they're like, hey, we've got a good deal. It helps you move the sale forward by simply spending an extra $700 for an end project inspection and an end project appraisal. Okay, when you inspect it at the end and appraise it at the end, you're taking some of the guesswork out for a buyer, and it's laying right there on the countertop when they walk through the property. So that's a little bit of a tidbit I would give you right there. So anyways, I'm gonna come back to you. For you guys listen to me on the radio or the iPad or iPod or what's it called? Podcast. There you go. Hey, look, if I can get on podcast, anybody can. So this is Zack Childress. I'll come right back to you in just a minute. Facebook, what questions you got for me? What do you got for me today? Let's see what you got, Facebook. What you got, Facebook?
Susan says you always have good info, Zack.
Susan, well, I'm glad you love my info. It's just real, it's just real, man. It's just real. That's how we do it around here. We keep it real. We keep it real. Real. It's just real, man.
I wish we had like a cord that we could plug into your head.
Like the Matrix?
Yeah, and I could plug it into mine and I could absorb all that in one time. And I think I'd probably have like a glitch.
Got to get my music in here. You guys wouldn't know what to do if I didn't play my music. I just had to. I just had to. Hey, you guys don't have any questions for me? You guys are going to make this a short call today, aren't you?
The eclipse must have really taken some people
Hey,
out.
listen, the eclipse. What about that? I found some really good eclipses at the store. It was called Eclipse Gum.
Did you see that meme?
Yeah.
Did you see the one where the guy with the glasses, everybody going into work on Tuesday?
No.
That was so funny. He had the glasses, but he had like a burn. And so he had like the white right here. And then on the meme it said, everybody going into work on Tuesday, like.
I have seen the ones where people are like, they're coming into work and they have like the raccoon eyes.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we were watching the eclipse.
Yeah. It's the same one except for it's just a bit more sarcastic.
That's good stuff. So, hey, I love all you guys on Facebook with me, and you need to make sure that other people in your life are getting this information. So I always encourage you to share this. Let everybody know about what we're doing. I mean, somebody out there needs to know what a power team is, so you need to share that with them and let them know what's going on. You got to. You got to, guys. You got to. You got to. We're going to go back on the radio.
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, it's Zack, Childress, and we're back. This is your real estate investing talk show for what's working in today's market. And I'm excited about our topic. We are talking about your power team and why a power team is important and who is your power team and what do you use them for and all that good stuff. And here's the other thing you need to be aware of. That, sometimes your power team does not stay with you through the entire journey. You either outgrow them or they retire or they don't want to put the work in anymore. So they move on. So be okay with moving on from your power team. It's not a necessary thing for you to keep. If you're growing, your power team needs to grow with you. That's the reality, okay? So don't get stuck, thinking you got to keep the same power team members. So where we left off was CPA, title company, bankers, real estate lawyers, appraisers, and inspections. And so the next one we're going to talk about is realtors. What is a good realtor, as they say? It's not realtor, Zach. It's realtor. Well, okay then, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor. Let me tell you what I think. I think that most agents are lazy. How about that? I think most agents could care less if they help your business or not. I think most agents have no clue or even have an understanding of what market segmentation or the right path of progress really is. I think that most agents could walk away and not care if they gave you a service or not. And I think most agents don't even like investors. That's my 2 cents. So let's talk about that, right? Now, a good agent you want to keep forever. I mean, a good agent is an agent that understands real estate investors, appreciates what real estate investors can do, and you will appreciate them. You will want to work with them. You will want to engage with them. You will want to spend more time with them. You will want to continually work with that agent. And most good agents understand what's called hustle. They understand that if they want to grow, that they got to get out there and make it happen. They got to work to get it done. They got to do open houses. They got to dig for leads. They got to communicate. They've got to put things together, not just find a house, stick it on the MLS and voila, it's done. That is not what most good agents are about. So let's understand that. At the end of the day, I feel like a good agent is an agent that you can actually listen to, but never trust. And I know that's a strong word, but let me explain why. And I'm not saying that your agent isn't trustworthy. I'm not saying that your agent isn't loyal to you. What I'm saying is that I can never trust someone that has a monetary gain from a choice I make that ends up with me working with them. Does that make sense to you guys? Because there's nothing bad about a good agent or a bad agent. That's just who they are. Let them do their thing. But you as an individual, you have to understand and recognize that, look, if they're guiding you down a path to buy a property, they're making a commission on it. So yes, there's a vested interest in that. Even though they have a fiduciary responsibility to represent you, let's be honest, like, does it always work that way? No. So why do I say this? Because I think it's very important that you understand your own research, your own market, and not be leaning on an agent to guide you and tell you how to reach the financial independence that you want. Because let's face it, if they knew how to reach financial independence, would they still be an agent? No, they would not still be an agent. They would be what? They would be retiring. They would be wealthy. They would build their own portfolio. They would lead down that path. Or they would start to teach others how to do it as well. So, so let's be clear on that. How do we find a good agent? Well, we find good agents by finding good investors that work with agents, or we find good agents by going to local RIAs, real estate investors associations, looking for agents that understand investing and what it's like to represent an investor. That's what we're looking for. But you need a good agent. You need what's called a primary agent that basically runs all your searches on the MLS. And you can then also work with any other agent you want, as long as they're sending you their listings before they get listed. So it's called a pocket listing. The other side of it is you want really two types of agents. You want a primary agent that finds you deals, and then you want very specific selling agents, meaning buyer agents, that you can find that will list your properties in the area that it's located. And let me help you understand that. If I'm selling a property in Ashley Estates, I'm going to go look to see what agent is selling houses in Ashley Estates the most in the shortest time frame. I'm going to then call that agent and tell them to list my property. And then let's say I go over to the reserves. I'm not going to take the same agent from Ashley Estates into the reserves. I'm going to go to the reserves and I'm going to find an agent that specializes there. So that's when you're selling, if you want to sell fast, find agents that specialize in the neighborhoods in which you're selling in, okay? So what's our next topic? Our next part of our power team is your mortgage banker. What's a mortgage banker? It's a mortgage broker. It's somebody that can find loans through a process of, going to 100 other different sources that aren't on the side of the street out here that you're driving up and down on a daily basis. So a mortgage broker. Another thing is you need asset-based lenders. What's an asset-based lender on your power team? It is a lender that only cares about the asset in which you're acquiring, not you personally. That's what's important here, okay? Not you personally. You also need an insurance agent, because if you're going to start buying properties to fix up and sell, you need to get insurance on it. So you need agents that are going to be willing to insure a property that is in a demolition or in a remodel position or is vacant. And they're not as easily to find as you think. So you got to be careful about that. You also need an insurance agent to cover any of your rental portfolio. And you need investor buyers, especially if you're going to be wholesaling. You need to spend time on an ongoing basis finding investor buyers for your business. Now, where are investor buyers at? Well, they're everywhere. They're at your RIA. They're at the auction. They're out buying stuff. You got to pull direct mail list and mail to them. You got to put bandit signs up in clustering zones where investors are buying at. And how do you identify that? Find your zip codes. Find your zip codes. Find how many houses are selling in the last 12 months. And out of that, find how many of them are being sold to cash buyers. And whatever zip code has a higher percentage of cash buyers versus retail buyers, you need to go in those zip codes and do clustering to figure out what neighborhoods they're buying in, and then go put bandit signs out in those neighborhoods saying that you're looking for buyers, cash buyers for deals, and let them start calling you. It's just about pinning down the segmentation first and how to use that information to better your ability when it comes to your marketing approach, okay? Now, that is your investor buyers. You also need property locators. What are property locators? Property locators are people who bring you deals. They're also known as bird dogs. Where do you get property locators? Everywhere. Anybody you talk to, the mailman, the mail lady, the meter readers. These are all good kids that drive around. These are all bird dogs. Run advertisement that says, looking for property locators, find properties, get paid to find properties. You could put stuff out and start basically aggregating an entire bird dog team of people looking. Go to your local RIAs and turn wholesalers into bird dogs, people to find you deals. That's what you're looking for, as many people as possible to bring you deals. That's part of your power team, okay? Your power team is huge. When you build a successful power team, you then start to build a successful business. And most important is you need private investors. Private investors are a huge part of your power team. Why? Because listen, if you want to get to the next level when you're investing, you want to do one of two things. Number one, you want to get access to more funds. And number two, you want to get access to more funds cheaper. Now, there is no money that's going to be as cheap as going to the bank. But the private money is much cheaper than asset-based lending. So most people start at asset-based lending, they start doing some deals, then they move into private money, and then they end up moving into bank money. Or some people start right out and they're able to go right to bank money. But bank money is cheap, 4, 5, 6%, where private money can be anywhere from 7 to 10%, depending. Where asset-based, excuse me.
Bless you.
I'm back. Okay. So asset base can be a little expensive, right? It could be 3 to 4 points up front. It can be 10 to 12 to 14 to 15% interest. And a lot of people run from that money. And I don't know why they run from that money. Because if you don't have any money, what in the world does it matter what you pay for the money? If you're going to make money on the deal and you got to give somebody 15% interest, then use the money. Use the money. Use the money. It's there. Go find the deal and get the money on the deal. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Stop worrying about what you're paying, because if you're sitting around broke and you ain't making money and you're finding deals and you don't have money to buy them and you're complaining that, oh, well, I can find deals but I can't fund them. Well, it's because either one of two things. You're not looking for asset-based lenders, which these guys are everywhere, or you're afraid, or you don't like, or you're not happy that they're charging you 15% interest. Well, let me help you understand something. They have the money and you don't. It's pretty simple, right? So if they have it and you don't have it, then they're in control. They have a little bit of leverage. They can charge that. And here's the reality. They wouldn't charge it if people weren't paying it. So let's be honest, like other people who are building their business using this money understand, hey, look, I can still pay this and make money. It's cheaper than having a partner that you split everything with. I promise you, okay? But if you're ready to move to the next level, you've got to get into private investors. They're out there. There's a lot of people out there that have money and they don't know what to do with it. Or they're like for instance, I know a lot of my private investors have come to me because they've had their money in properties that were making them 6, 7% interest, and they still had to deal with all the headaches of vacancies and landing and fixing them up. So it would be more advantageous for them to just sell all that, take that money, and then loan it out to private investing at 8%. And I've had quite a few private investors that have done that. And so it's easier for them. And are there more of those out there? Yes, I talk to them all the time. I had a lady that, came up to me not too long ago with several 7 figures to invest, and she was only making like 3.5% on it, even though it was a big check because the amount was so high. But I mean, if I can pay her 8, that's a lot more than she's making now. So it makes sense for her to sell where she has her money to reinvest that. So these are things you got to think about, right? Like, how do I communicate to a private investor? Well, you need to remember, you got to have 3 points of contact within the first 30 days. You got to have a prior relationship before you start talking about guarantees and interest and returns. It's just keeping yourself safe. Where do you find them at? Well, you mail them. You mail high net worth individuals. You talk to people. You get to a point where you feel confident and comfortable with who you are and where you're going in your business, that every time you talk to somebody, you should say something like this. You should say, for an example, if someone comes up to me and says, what do? You say, oh, well, I help people retire early by showing them how to reinvest their discretionary income into real estate where they can make higher yields of return than they do in the stock market, and therefore they can build a plan for retirement early. Really? I absolutely do. How much money do you have to invest? Just right to the point, right? Just, hey, I help people retire early by showing them how to reinvest their capital into real estate that gives them a higher rate of return by becoming a private investor. So therefore, they can make more than they would in the stock market or in their bank account so they can retire early. How much money do you have? Oh, well, I've got 300,000. Great. Well, look, I'd love to sit down with you and talk to you more. Okay. Listen, I was on a plane ride to Denver, and I was sitting next to, in the front of the plane, I was sitting next to a guy from London that comes to America to buy companies. This is what he does. They come to America, they buy companies, and they gobble them up. They got over 400 companies right now that they've bought. And he asked me what I do, and guess what I said to him? Oh, well, I help people retire by showing them a better place to park their money. I'm in real estate, so I show them how to take that money and place it in real estate. And as a private investor, I can show them how to make more than the stock market or even more than where their money's sitting right now. How much money do you have to invest? And he said, he goes, well, what kind of returns do we get? And I said, well, I'd love to talk to you about it. You have a business card? What type of returns are you getting on your money now? You notice I didn't answer the question, did I? No way. Why? Because I have one point of contact on the plane. Now I need to set a meeting with him and talk to him over the phone, and I need to have another meeting with him to talk to him. So now I have 3 points of contact with him, and then I can start talking to him. But he said to me, I said, well, what are you making on your money? And I want to say he said like 4 or 5%, and some of it was sitting in a savings account making nothing. And I said, oh, well, wouldn't it be nice if you could double that? And he said, yes. I said, okay, then we should talk. I never said I would do anything, did I? I just, in a very clean, assumptive way, I think he got my point. So what I'm saying to you is there's money everywhere, and it becomes easier and easier for you to obtain when you have the confidence that you can perform. Because I say it all the time, if you ask everybody for money and they all say yes, then now you got a problem, right? Most people think they have a problem if they say no. Well, it's not working. It's that negative mindset, right? What's the worst they could say? No. It's such a good question for me to ask people to show them how to stop thinking negatively. What's the worst thing they could say? No. No, the worst thing they could say is yes. Because now you got to do something with it. Now you got to actually deploy it. Now you got to take action. Now you got to get up off that couch and start making some things happen. Now you actually have to be a real estate investor, right? People go, well, that would be great. Yeah, watch it. Watch out. Watch when it happens. See, you're sitting in your world, you're not doing anything, and then all of a sudden somebody hands you $1 million, you better start making some action. Now you got to get going. Now you got to get going. Now you got to get in the game. You can't sit around and complain that it's never going to work for you. You can't sit around and complain that, oh, it's not going to work. Oh, well, they might say no. No, you can't make those excuses in yourself anymore. You got to do something. So what do you need to be doing for private money? You need to start asking for it. So guys, this is Zack Childress. I'll be right back on the radio show with you guys, and don't go away. Remember, if you're joining me, you need to jump over to Facebook Live, Creative Real Estate Training Academy. Come on, be live with us, like our page, follow us, then you can come on the live shows and ask me questions. I'll be right back. Facebook, what do you got for me today?
Toby says, this is a good training today, Zack. Excuse me, leverage. That's awesome.
Leverage is the key. Look, we just did a book, didn't we? What was our book? It was talking about what? Leveraging people, leveraging their talents, leveraging their experiences, leveraging their money, leveraging, right? That was what it was about.
Christy says, market segmentation.
Thumbs up. Yes, market segmentation is a game changer if people pay attention to that. Most people don't pay attention to it. They don't even listen to it, or they go, oh, it's too complicated. But guess what? It's the secret. It's the secret sauce. It's the awesome sauce to it, right? It's the awesome sauce. So high five, Toby. I'll give it back to you. So, what else we got on Facebook today? Is that it?
It is. She said she's on it. She's in because of my work in the mortgage industry. I understand power team, and you make them hustle, and they don't get paid until the deal is closed. And guess what, guys? We don't either. Can you explain pocket listing again?
Yes, I can. A pocket listing is when someone, an agent, is going to get a listing on a property. And at the moment that listing agreement is signed, to the point they stick it on the MLS, that's called a pocket listing during that period, meaning no one knows about it yet because it's not on the MLS. So when you're working with every agent in your market, not for them to go scour the MLS for you, but to say to them, any listing you get that wants to sell quickly or it needs work, before you stick it on the MLS, let me know and I'll make an offer on it. That's the period in which it is a pocket listing.
Okay, so Carly, she says, any suggestions on places to go find private money?
Yes. You can find private investors at the places private investors gather. Where's a good place for that? Equity Trust Conference, etc.com. I think it's what it is. But Equity Trust, they do a yearly or twice a year conference where all they do is bring every private investor in their system into a meeting, and they put them in a room and tell them, you need to be investing your money. And they bring guys like me on stage to talk about real estate, why they need to invest in it. They bring people in to talk about gold and silver and bitcoins and anything. They just want them in using their money, because most people move their money to a self-directed IRA and then they don't do anything with it. So they're pushing them to invest their money into the marketplace. So that's a great place to go find it. Other places is mail people who have bought CDs. You can go to like 1-800-DUNHILL and you can get a list of all the people in your market that have bought CDs and mail to them. Ask them, hey, how would you like to find a path to retire early and double what you're making on the CD? Get them engaged, get them calling you. For our coaching students, we give them a software called the Ultimate Investor Software System. And inside there, they can click a few buttons and pull every single private investor in their market or any market and have mailing done for them. So there's lots of different ways to pull that off.
Okay, Christy, she says everyone needs to go to the event. This is only the beginning. Wait until you get more in depth. Find a way to go.
Good job, Christy. I like that. I got somebody advocating my event. See, it's easy for me, Christy, to talk about how much these events are game changers. I mean, it's super easy because I see it from the stage. But, there's a lot of people that come on. And here's the way our Facebook Live works. People will watch it now, and then they'll keep watching it over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We'll end up with hundreds of views, thousands of views that people watch these things. And so, they don't understand. They may not know us yet. And, to have someone like you come on here who just experienced it, to say, hey, everyone needs to go to the event. This is just what? This is only the beginning. That's powerful, Christy, and I appreciate that. I really do, because you witnessed it. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because our events are like no other, guys. I mean, they're different. I promise you they're different. And not just different as in because I'm different, but they're different because there's some real information there, like real information. And so if you're trying to make a change, listen to Christy. I'm telling you, listen to her. You may not know her, but you want to know what she knows. There's value in that. So thanks, Christy. We love you. If I could give you a heart, I would give you a heart, but I could do this. Right there. Poof, 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 poof. How about that? I'll give you my own little heart there. All right, let's get back on the radio. We got to wrap this thing up today.
We are going back on air in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, welcome back to your real estate investing talk show with Zack Childress. This is the real deal with your coach, not your guru. I'm not your guru, I'm your coach. And let me tell you something, we've been talking about your power team. We've covered a ton of stuff about your power team. And if you listen to any of it, then you've gotten farther. If you've only gotten a little bit, you've gotten further. If you've been sleeping, then you're in the same place you started when you got on the show, okay? So I'm always a fan of active participation. You need to be active. You need to be paying attention. You need to be engaged with what we do. So here is your last member for your power team. And if you don't believe me, ask those who have experienced it. You need a coach. You need a coach. That's what you need. That's what you need is a coach. You can't do it alone. Let me tell you something. Well, let me take that back. You can do it alone, but you're going to be alone, and it's going to take you longer, and you're going to make mistakes that you shouldn't have made, and you're going to pay for your education one way or the other. Let's be honest here. But I'm here to tell you that you need a coach. And if you have any bit of the understanding that I've been leading you in the right path so far, then you need to listen to me. You need a coach, okay? Now, people say, oh, I know, Zach, but coaches cost money. Of course they do. Look, they have intellectual property in their brain. Do you know the value of intellectual property? It is what someone is willing to pay for it, okay? So let's not mistake the fact that these people have gone through what you're trying to go through and have become successful, and now they have to be paid to be coached or to coach. And I'm the guy that screens them. I'm the guy that trains them. I'm the guy that makes sure that they are doing what they're supposed to be doing to make our students succeed. So if you want a good coach, you need to call us. And how do I know that? Because you wouldn't be here if you weren't seeking information. The first thing you got to identify is that you need help. The second thing you have to identify is that you have to ask for that help. It doesn't do you any good to say, I need it. It does you good when you say, I need it and I need to ask for it. The third thing is where to ask for the help. And let me tell you something, it's right here. You can always call our office, 707-249-4248. You can call the office, 707-249-4248. Pick up the phone, be part of what we do. Tell somebody you want a free strategy session. Yes, I just gave that away for free. Tell them you want a free strategy session. People sometimes pay up to $500 for these strategy sessions. So I'm going to give it to you for free. The only way you get it for free is you got to call that number and say, Zach just gave me a free strategy session on his real estate investing talk show. So call that number, 707-247.
Yeah, 247. You had me looking at
4248. 707-247-4248. And let me tell you something. When you put that coach into your business, it rounds out your power team. It helps you build that. He or she helps you build that power team. They help you build your business to the next level. I want you to succeed. I want you to have that hands-on approach to the business. So listen, if you listen to me on the radio, you need to join me on Facebook, Creative Real Estate Training Academy. Get over there, join that page, follow us on that page, be part of what we do. Every Tuesday at 1:30, we bring you Real Estate Investing Talk Show. And on Wednesdays, we do our Dig Deeper book review or our Dig Deeper with an Expert. So I engage you to come on board and be part of our family just outside of the podcast or the Blog Talk Radio or anything else that this syndicates to. Join us on Facebook. And until next time, next week, same bat channel, I'll see all my radio listeners hopefully soon on Facebook. This is Zack Childress. I'll see you soon. All right, Facebook, what do we got? Where you guys scrolling in with me here on the end? Give me some questions. I'm going to hang out with you for a little bit longer, but then I'm going to have to go in a minute.
So I actually posted on there.
What did you post, Jill?
Everybody that I know that is successful has a coach. It doesn't matter what industry. And you were talking about coaches and being successful, so I just had to post it up there that, it's true. You need a coach.
You need one. I don't know anybody in my life that has reached that next level that has not had a coach. And that's the honest truth. There's no way I've gotten to the level I'm at without a coach. You can't have it. Look, the people that came to the event in Denver, after one day, realized they needed a coach, and I couldn't believe how many people were like, Zach, can you help us? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? They stopped making excuses, and they started getting real at Denver. They said, listen, I know that this is the path to go. I need to get there. You're my guy. How do I move forward with your company outside of this event? Because let me tell you something, our event is amazing. I know I'm biased, but I think our event is amazing. But I also know on Sunday, those events end. And people need more help after Sunday. They need to be able to take that information and then take it to the next level. And that is why we bring coaching to our students. And listen, we're not out every weekend trying to throw coaching around. No, I do 3, 4, maybe we'll do 5 events of our boot camp in the near future, but we don't do a lot of them. And that's why we're able to work with so many people on such a close-knit basis, why we know all of our students, we know where they are, we know what their challenges and struggles are, and why we add our services. Like look, when someone comes on board with us in a coaching, man, we bring them to Huntsville. We say, look, come to Huntsville and let me work with you for 2 days. We call it a 2-day immersion. We get them here in Huntsville, and then we spend 2 days just getting them dialing and finding deals. I mean, our last one was amazing. I mean, there's some video on our Facebook page that shows what we were able to pull off there. I mean, it's the real stuff, guys. And look, you can do it on your own, alone, and slow, or you can find a way to get a coach, man, and speed up that process and not be alone and have someone to help you and hold your hand and hold you accountable. And that's the beauty of why I love the fact that we do coaching, is that I know without a shadow of a doubt we're speeding up people's success tremendously by doing that. So what else you got for me, Jill?
Carly says the lack of training will cost more over time than getting an education up front at 100% of the time.
That's so true. Good job, Carly.
Then Christy says coach plus systems equals success.
I like that too. Christy throwing some philosophy down. Pow! Read it again.
She said coach plus systems equals success.
Coaching plus systems equals success. I like that. Let me write that on the board. I got to remember that. Coaching. Am I spelling it right?
Yep.
Coaching plus systems equals success. Man, I like that, Christy. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. That was a good one, Christy. I'm going to use that. I'm going to have to use that. That was a good one.
Then we have Toby who says, don't worry, I'm moving to Alabama.
Ah! I'll sell you a house, Toby. That was a good one.
That was good.
Is that all we got, Facebookers?
Yep.
Well, hey, listen, I enjoy you guys. You know I enjoy you guys. I think that my people, my fans, my followers, I think you guys are the best. I don't think I could ask for any better students than those of you that come on my Facebook and hang out with me. I do this for you guys. I mean, that's why I do it. And I'm always excited to roll back in on these days and get things started. So, you know who this is? This is Zack Childress. This is your coach. That's who I am. That's why I'm here, to get you guys going. Until next week, same bat channel, 1:30 Eastern time zone on Tuesday. Also be here tomorrow, my Dig Deeper book review. Be here tomorrow. Until then, I'll see you guys. Be well, be smart, stay focused. Zack Childress, I'm out.